Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. The air in Genoa City felt different, charged, dangerous, like the calm before something explosive. At Newman Enterprises, Phyllis Summers leaned back in Victor Newman's chair, her red heels propped boldly on his desk. She ran her fingers over the polished wood like she was claiming territory. For years, she'd been underestimated, mocked, pushed aside. Today she had won. Power looks good on you, she murmured to herself, smirking. The office doors opened without a knock. Lauren Fenmore stepped in. Phyllis didn't even look up at first. If you're here to rain on my parade, take a number. Lauren closed the door softly. Actually, I'm here to congratulate you. That got Phyllis' attention. Lauren walked forward slowly, surveying the room as if absorbing the historic moment. You did it. You knocked Victor Newman off his perch. Phyllis searched her friend's face for sarcasm. There was none. For every woman who's ever been dismissed, patronized, talked down to, Lauren continued, this feels like a victory. Phyllis' smirk softened into something real. You really mean that? I do. For a moment, silence lingered between them, two women who had survived decades in Genoa City's battlefield. But Lauren's eyes sharpened. You didn't just do this for your children's future. Phyllis rolled her eyes, of course I did. Lauren tilted her head, and for yourself. Phyllis exhaled slowly, maybe I'm allowed to want something for myself. Lauren nodded, you are, but don't pretend you don't love Nick. The room went still. Phyllis' jaw tightened. Lauren pressed gently, you don't want to hurt him or Summer. Nick tried to shame me, Phyllis snapped. He practically begged me to hand the company back to Victor like I was some reckless child. And that cut deep, Lauren said softly. Phyllis looked away. It had. Everyone, Phyllis continued bitterly, even my own kids, they've swallowed the Newman propaganda machine whole. Lauren stepped closer. You can't tell me there's not a tiny bit of remorse in there. Why would I regret winnings? But her voice lacked its earlier certainty. Lauren offered a small smile. Let me take you out, celebrate properly. Phyllis' eyes flashed, or come work for me. Lauren blinked. Oh, what? Join me, we could take over the world. Lauren laughed softly. I'm flattered, but I'm happy where I am. Happy, Phyllis scoffed, you're comfortable. Lauren studied her carefully. Be careful, Phyllis, power changes things. Phyllis leaned back in Victor's chair again. I'm counting on it. Across town at Chancellor Industries, Billy Abbott stood alone in his office. He stared out the window like a general surveying conquered land. I won't be stabbed in the back again, he muttered. The memory of betrayal still burned. He had loved, he had trusted, and he had paid for it. But not this time. Chancellor is mine, he said, almost gleeful, mine alone. The door opened. Sally Spectra stepped in. Billy turned slowly, change of heart. She crossed her arms. I came to inform you that I hired Audra Charles as my co-COO. Billy blinked. You what? And I renamed the company, Sally continued calmly. It's Spectra Charles now. His smile froze. Abbott Communications had legacy, he argued lightly. It had baggage, she corrected. Billy tried to play devil's advocate, but Sally cut him off. I cleared it with Jill. That stung. Billy adjusted quickly, slipping into charm mode. Well, he said smoothly, I can't argue with a woman who knows what she wants. Sally hesitated. Have dinner with me, Billy added, one final meal, closure. Her eyes flickered. It's just goodbye, she said. Billy smiled knowingly. At Crimson Lights, Victoria Newman stood across from Sharon Rosells. I'm looking for Nick. Sharon sighed, he's been preoccupied. With Matt Clark. Oh yes. Victoria frowned, he hasn't even recovered from his injury. Sharon's expression darkened, there's something else. Before she could elaborate, the back door of the coffee house creaked open in the alley. Nick Newman stood alone in the cold. He pulled a small pink baggie from his coat pocket. Inside, a single fentanyl pill. He stared at it like it was both salvation and poison. His hand trembled. He threw it into the snow. He walked away 2 steps. Stopped, turned back. He dug through the snow and retrieved it. Grimacing, he swallowed it dry. Inside, Sharon lowered her voice to Victoria, Nick struggling. With what? Painkillers. Victoria's face hardened. The door opened, Nick stepped inside, forcing normalcy onto his features. Sharon gave him a searching look before excusing herself. Nick approached Victoria. Don't go to Milan. She crossed her arms. Why? As Summer's father, I'm asking you not to drag her into this. Victoria studied him carefully. I regret calling her, Nick admitted. She needs to decide for herself how to handle her mother. Sharon returned briefly. If Philly's kids cut her off, she'll dig her heels in deeper. They debated Victor's larger plans. Then Nick's phone buzzed. Unknown number. 5 million, that's the price for me to disappear permanently. Nick's blood ran cold. Sharon leaned closer. Is it Matt? Nick typed back, come see me, let's work this out. The response came instantly. Laughing emoji. 5 million to leave my son alone. Nick's jaw tightened. Victoria whispered, we lure him out. Nick's eyes darkened. I know exactly how. At Society, Sally paced while Audra worked on a tablet. I'm designing the new logo, Audra said casually. Why do you look like you swallowed glass? I went to see Billy. Audra froze. Why? He invited me to dinner. Audra stared at her like she'd confessed to arson. Don't. It's just goodbye, Sally insisted. Audra shook her head. You will never come first with him. Sally's voice softened. I know. Then don't go. Sally hesitated. I need closure. Audra muttered under her breath, famous last words. At the club, Billy approached Lauren and Phyllis with forced cheer. Well, look at this alliance. Lauren smiled politely. Phyllis explained Lauren was the only one not judging her. Billy wasn't convinced. Proceed carefully, he warned Phyllis before walking away. Lauren frowned slightly. I'm not trying to stop you, she said gently. Phyllis leaned forward, then join me. Lauren hesitated again. Think about it, Phyllis urged. We could be unstoppable. Lauren's eyes softened with concern. Or destructible. Night settled over Genoa City like a warning. Nick sat alone at a corner table in crimson lights long after Victoria and Sharon had left. $5 million. That was Matt Clark's price. Not just for silence. For his son. Nick's hands trembled slightly. The fentanyl dulled the physical pain, but the emotional weight pressed harder. Matt had always been unstable, reckless, dangerous. But this was blackmail wrapped in parental warfare. Nick texted again. A public place tomorrow at noon. 3 dots appeared. Gone. Then, bring the money. Nick's jaw clenched. He didn't intend to. At Newman Enterprises, Phyllis remained in Victor's office long after sunset. She stared at the city lights. Lauren's words echoed. You love Nick. Phyllis pulled out her phone, stared at Nick's contact, then locked the screen. No, she would not crumble now. A knock interrupted her thoughts. Billy stepped in. Celebrating alone. Reflecting. He studied her carefully. Victor's not a man who accepts defeat. I'm not afraid. Maybe you should be. Phyllis stood. You think I can't handle him? I think, Billy said slowly, you underestimate how far he'll go. Phyllis smirked. So will I. Their eyes locked in mutual ambitions. At Society, Sally dressed carefully for dinner. Audra watched from across the room. You're glowing, Audra said dryly. Oh, it's just dinner. Sure. Sally paused. What if he means it? What if it really is goodbye? Audra walked closer. Then let it be goodbye. Don't rewrite history because he flashes that smile. Sally swallowed. She knew Billy's charm. It was intoxicating. And dangerous. The next morning, tension-filled crimson lights. Nick sat at a table near the window. Matt Clark stepped inside, hood up, eyes calculating. He slid into the seat across from Nick. Where's my 5 million? Nick leaned forward. You don't want money. Matt smirked. I want leverage. You're not taking my son. Then pay. Nick's control wavered. The lingering haze from the fentanyl made everything sharper and blurrier at once. I'll give you something better, Nick said. Matt's eyebrow lifted. A deal that keeps you safe, but if you threaten my family again. Nick's eyes hardened into something lethal. I will destroy you. Matt studied him carefully. For a moment, uncertainty flickered. Then Matt laughed. You're just like your father. Nick's expression darkened. Maybe he was. Elsewhere, Phyllis stood in her new empire, staring at the horizon. She had won, but the cost was beginning to surface. Nick drifting away. Summer confused. Daniel distant. Lauren cautious. Victory felt heavier than she expected. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. You really think this is over? Her blood ran cold. Victor. Game on. Across town, Sally walked into the club for dinner. Billy stood when he saw her. For a moment, everything felt like old times. Warm. Familiar. Dangerous. Just dinner, she reminded herself. But Billy's eyes said otherwise. In the shadows of Genoa City, alliances were shifting. Nick was stepping into darker territory. Phyllis was balancing power and loss. Billy was playing long games. Sally was risking her heart. And Victor Newman. He was never truly defeated. The war wasn't over. It was just beginning.